Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be talking about the two new 7-star Godfest exclusives coming to North America. So, these two new Godfest exclusives will be debuting during a regular 5 Magic Stone Godfest, and for the most part, those types of Godfests are lackluster. They feature significantly lower rolling rates, less collateral benefits, but more so the issue is it's just going to be lower rolling rates. So I honestly feel that this Godfest is kind of just a bait for players to try and trick them into rolling for these new cards, because they will be available moving forward. We are going to have Super Godfest that will feature these cards. Like this is not a limited time deal. It's going to come back at some point. So in all honesty, I would just not roll in this Godfest, and I want to just focus on what makes these two new Godfest exclusives strong, powerful, and unique. So again, don't roll in the Godfest. We have Monster Hunter and YYH Cloud coming back relatively soon, and those two events obviously offer significantly more value compared to a regular 5-stone Godfest. So, the two new Godfest exclusives. So, the two new cards have two distinct evolution forms. One is a weapon assist, and one is just a regular type form. And both of them share the same active skill, but a lot of players may not necessarily realize why these weapon assists are so strong, because you might just glance over and look at the evolved form and just be like, oh, well, this is kind of just an average card. It's nothing particularly special. But as a weapon assist, it allows that card to be used as inherited on top of different cards in your team. And basically when they are inherited, they will transfer over their specific awakenings. So in the case of these two new cards here, you will be able to transfer over either a God Killer or a Dragon Killer. And this is new and quite exciting because we've never been able to transfer over such a powerful Killer Awakening. And Killer Awakenings differ from Latents because a Killer Awakening gives you 3 times personal damage against that respective spawn. So if you inherit the God Killer Weapon Assist on top of a card, you now have 3 times effective damage for that owning card against God type spawns. So for the most part, this is not going to have that much applications for everyday usage, especially in longer dungeons. The reason being is both of these cards have an 8-turn cooldown when left unskilled. It's 3 turns when skilled up, and it basically is a dump or a lackluster active skill. You don't necessarily actually want to use this active skill for the most part. So you want to leave them unskilled, and with only 8 turns, your window of opportunity for using the base card's active skill is quite small. And because of that, it might be a little harder to navigate through longer content when you might have to stall when you don't want to, or you're just playing through so many floors, you have to keep dumping that base active skill at inopportune times. So for the most part, I can foresee these two cards being used in either a ranking dungeon or in a farming context, and both of these mediums will give players the chance to not use those base inherited active skills. Basically, if you are playing a ranking dungeon, it's going to be probably like less than 10 floors, but you're most likely going to be using the base active skills card anyways, or maybe not even needing to worry about it. So by giving that card 3 times damage against God type spawns, for instance, you inherit the Sriracha's weapon assist onto Shay's Roots, they will now have 81 times personal damage against God type spawns because Shay's Roots already comes with triple God Killer. So this is going to definitely make playing through certain content significantly easier. You can make one combo and things will just die and fall over. This is where I feel like ranking dungeons are definitely going to have a much easier time. You hit damage cap more easily, you can kill spawns more easily, you don't have to compromise your team as much, so to speak. You can just use one card or less active skills, and that makes a big difference. The same can be said for farming applications. So let's say you're using Yusuke to play through a dungeon because he's the most efficient team you have, and you know there's a dragon spawn at the end with a void damage mechanic. Yusuke is one of the more accessible void damage penetration cards at this point in time because many players traded for him. So they also oftentimes put Dragon Killer Latents. So he has high personal damage against Dragon type spawns. And if you inherit Kyo's weapon assist, you now have an extra 3 times damage against Dragon type spawns, which is going to make those VDP kill boards significantly more powerful. And you basically can almost not even possibly use a gemstone or a burst inherit because, well, when you have 3 times damage already, that's getting kind of close to a gemstone's level of damage, and because you saved yourself an active skill there, you are going to have a much easier time team building around for the other mechanics. So these cards are just going to make your life easier. I don't feel they're going to make it so you can clear significantly more content that you couldn't have before. Like, I would not use these types of inherits for most things, like say like like longer arenas because it's most likely going to cap out and you're going to have that awkward active skill. And for the most part, we do have enough damage to kill spawns and those types of things. It's only when we want to farm content fast and efficiently where it makes a difference because we're trying to use as few active skills as possible. So in conclusion, I feel that these weapon assist cards are strong, but the applications for using them is a relatively more niche for the most part. Like I said, I feel like ranking dungeons and farming application purposes are where it's going to definitely have the most merit or value. Like I said, like right now, a lot of players are farming Nidhogg. So if you're farming Nidhogg Descendant, it's a dragon type spawn, needs VDP, stick that dragon killer weapon assist on top, you have a much easier VDP option, may require less burst, less active skills, so on and so forth. So let me know what you think about these cards in the comments below and how you would actually utilize them if you were fortunate enough to roll them. But regardless of all that, hopefully you'll have a fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures, and happy puzzling.